throughout these games here. So, anyways, ECX, of course, on the Legion, Complexity, Hellborn. We got the draft underway. So let's take a look and see what we're doing with that here. Midas, Sandwraith, Behemoth, and Tundra are the bands. Tundra really has been a hero that's kind of really come back strong on the competitive scene, I feel. He's definitely been an up and down hero on the scene for the longest time. There's been cases where we just never see him. And the hero, honestly, I want to say really hasn't been through a whole lot of changes. There have been changes here and there. I'm not saying he hasn't had any nerfs or buffs to him, but you know, for the most part, there's been, like, obviously no reworks or anything like that. I mean, for the most part, the hero's been pretty similar throughout time. So it's kind of interesting noting that he's had that history of kind of being picked all the time to never being seen for the longest time. But especially when you consider the potential and the power of the hero. But, you know, ECX, they run it in a couple ways. Most certainly Zane running it as a suicide is something they're known to do. So, and do it well. But the point is, it's banned here. But that makes sense coming out from Complexity. So they first pick a Warbeast into a Magmus, Glacius into Rhapsody, and now Prisoner going to be coming out here. So Prisoner, they got their mid option, a solid hero choice against something like a Magmus, of course, and just a strong middle hero in general. Matthias, of course, back for ECX. We didn't mention that the other day. I want to say it was on Tuesday. In fact, that would be yesterday. So the days blending together here. But yeah, they got Matthias back here running for Cycle 7 currently, so it's good to see him back, though, playing some Han once again. Bubbles coming out with that final pick, so obviously that's what picking up the Prisoner third right there for the Legion side kind of opens up the door for. And Complexity, gladly going to take that Bubbles right there. So, yeah, anyways, I do apologize again if I am excited to cast, don't get me wrong, but again, it was kind of just like an all-of-a-sudden deal, so it's like on-the-spot moment, so still kind of getting myself in the mode of, that's right, this is a Han Tour match here. Berserker, not going to be seen ever, because no one picks it up. Everyone thinks it's bad for some reason, but the teams both like an Atrome. I just don't get it, man. Silhouette, Arachna, Magebang, Clanks are the bands so far. Now one more to go on either side. So we got very heavy on the carry side of things. Still think of more carries out there. Oogie, I guess that's one of them. What else will there be? Puppet Master. Hey, look at that, Puppet Master. So, yeah, team's going to have to reach a little bit to pick up some carries. You know, Dark Lady kind of comes to mind, but at the same time, as it's been pointed out lately, Dark Lady, excuse me, is a hero that she got some, maybe it wouldn't seem like on paper a very significant nerf, but at least from what I've been understanding from players' perspectives, they feel like it's a pretty big nerf. The idea that the Charging Strikes cooldown was increased, so it no longer matches up with that of the Dark Blades, and you know the synergy's not there as much. I think her ultimate also did get nerfed, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So the hero did take a couple of nerfs and is deterring people from actually picking her up now. So obviously a hero that has a lot of significant history on the scene, and hell, has one of the several, I want to say, of the top farming games of all time. Of course, behind, well, Salamon. But Salamon, he's in a league of his own. Speaking of Salamon, actually, you see Complexity, right-clicking it. So it's possible. And, yeah, I was just about to mention that, too, because they were clicking that as well. Wild Soul still left open, and Complexity's like, thank you very much. We'll gladly take Wild Soul here with a fourth pick. So that's something, the fact that they get a fourth pick of Wild Soul. But ECX, they snap respawn with the Lodestone. And, you know, Lodestone obviously pretty good against a hero like Wild Soul. Any kind of AoE damage-centric hero in general is pretty good. And then on top of that, the Shatterstorm, the fact that it removes all that armor, I mean, it's pretty good as well against a Wild Soul. So I think maybe that's what ECX was kind of thinking in the end, that, you know what, sure, Wild Soul is a scary and dangerous hero at times, but we're confident with our lineup, especially with a Lodestone if they do go it. And sure enough, they do. So now we got Complexity in a spot. They could go the Salamon still, but that would be a pretty greedy lineup. So, yeah, they may end up going more of a carry that can be a little more involved throughout the game, and Bloodhunter would be interesting. Obviously, they got a Doctor on the other side, and he could be good with the silence there. So, Bloodhunter also gets Warbeast with that ultimate of his. Yeah, I actually like the Bloodhunter pickup right here. And sure enough, Complexity is going to go for it. So, Gotta say, yeah, definitely wasn't thinking about it until they right-clicked it right there, but most certainly it makes sense. Again, not only the silence for Doctor, it's a 9-second, I want to say, at level 4. Yeah, 9-second silence. But the hemorrhage. The hemorrhage is great in general, but, you know, it gets here like Warbeast, who's really reliant on running around in those fights. Constantly. This will prevent him from doing so, or the idea at least. So, here we go. We got game 1 underway now of Complexity versus Evo Corporation. Again, this is a 2-game series, as all group stage matches are. It's funny reading chat here, people that were tuning into my personal stream here before I hopped on. And yeah, I was messing around with some drone that I got for Christmas, a mini drone. It's just kind of a fun, like, on-the-spot mini drone that you kind of hook up and put in some batteries, and then it works. But holy crap, I was not ready for it. Let's just say that. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Probably best that I don't mess around with that. Anyways, back to this game here. So there we go. Make sure we're in-game camera. Booyah. All right. As far as the lanes go, we got the Legion side. ECX is sending a Hellhound to scout things out, of course, at the bottom lane. Gonna see if Complexity is doing anything pretty crazy here. Well, Complexity, if they are, they're not showing it, that's for sure. But it looks like they are just going to end up with a Suicide Magnus in the end. Of course, send Bubbles mid to match up against that Prisoner. And that means Bloodhunter, obviously, in the short lane. So, and no signs of aggressive play coming out here on either side. At least it looks like initially. Unless ECX, are they going to change it up a little bit? No, Prisoner is going to be mid, right? Yeah. He is going to be mid. Yeah, it's Warbeast will make his way to the top lane over here, so. But yeah, I like the Bloodhunter pick. I do wonder, you know, especially with the Mocker Brilliance buff, I know that's probably more of the TMM pub stop style of build, but I don't know. I wonder if Formless could find himself getting a Mocker Brilliance or trying to go for that now. At the same time, that might be, you know, the more I'm thinking about it, okay, with this lineup here, it might not make sense. You know, they already have a Wild Soul who very likely is going to get a Mock, and that would be extra greedy on top of that. So, yeah, they need this Bloodhunter to be a little more active earlier on, I would think, having that Wild Soul. As bottom lane, oh my god, Dr. Repulsor. Wow, he's going to be one auto attack away from dying. He gets the health potion off, though, and is going to survive as a result, but jeez, Oscar actually, that's unfortunate. I think he had a mana potion, but this Archer over here prevents him from getting the mana necessary to get another stun off, so thus he's going to have to fall back, and Doctor will go back to farming here. That was a scary start for Imbo Boy, but in the end, he manages to stay alive, so. But yeah, Bloodhunter, curious to see, again, how he kind of builds here. You would think it is going to be a little more around the aggressive route, the aggressive side of things, or if anything, just not over-the-top greedy, you know, not going that Mocker Brilliance, especially, something like that. So, yeah, perhaps just something like more the Firebrand, the typical right-click build, Firebrand into Geos. Perhaps that Frostburn even, and I can split that up eventually. You can actually see that being pretty powerful on Bloodhunter, so. And we'll see what he decides to go for, though. Again, matched up against the Lodestone up here. As far as that bottom lane is concerned, it looks like Rhapsody is actually staying bottom. So, sure enough, Complexity is running a little aggressive down here. Obviously, they almost got the Bloodlust kill. Unfortunately, it came up just short here. So, yeah, guys, I see people asking about it still. Again, I should have a co-caster here in the near future. I don't mind solo casting, but if I can have a co-caster on, it does help with taking breaks from having to talk and feeling like you have to talk constantly. So it is nice. It is nice. So, but hopefully in the near future he is able to hop on. If not, we grind it out. Not a big deal. Oh, hook gonna miss right there from Prisoner. Trying to go for Bubbles, but. Obviously, the Bubbles matchup, it's very difficult for Prisoner. The take cover, it makes it honestly pretty easy for Bubbles to be able to avoid those Prisoner hooks and not be killed as a result. So, yeah, they definitely responded with that pick in that third spot there. Wild Soul, what you got playing here for Complexity, and going to keep an eye on him and his GPM and how it's takes off. He's playing that new Wild Soul skin, by the way. Gets the early Gloves of the Swift on him. Interesting with that, actually. I wonder, is he going to maybe go that Alchemist Bones? Or will he, is he perhaps having that for the sake of Steam Boots eventually? Could also be very possible, but we'll see. We'll see what he does with those Gloves of the Swift. He actually sent it to the bear to me. Oh, what happened? I'm missing the Bloodlust kill. No big deal, right? No, Oscar goes down the bottom lane. He's caught up looking at that Wild Soul. But it looks like Glacia's rotating over, though. Perhaps just catching them off guard. I don't know if that was maybe Magnus Rhapsody going for a kill and it backfired, or apologize there, unfortunately, missing that action. But however it happened, Bloodlust kill in favor of the Legion side for ECX here. So that's big, especially considering they being Imboboy at least, nearly got killed himself right off the bat. So Bloodlust was got by Glacius. In fact, going to continue to apply some pressure as they do so to Magnus right there. So, of course, ECX responding to this aggressive dual lane as they send Glacius down here. He needs to be a little careful. He's level 4, though, already. Jeez. And that battle cry is no doubt kicking in here and assisting pretty well for this Legion side. So, definitely a good reason why they're able to get that Bloodlust kill. Top lane, look at this. Hasted Prisoner coming in. He's looking for a kill at the top lane. Bloodhunter, can he land this hook is the question. That's what it's going to come down to. No, he gets silenced. And Prisoner will have to instead of walk it off. So, I don't think he's going to hang around much longer. This Rev Ward here very likely spotted him, if anything. And gets Bloodhunter that information. So, yeah, you can maybe argue that Losto was going a little too early, but I think that he saw that glimpse there on the Rev Ward and was able to react in time. So, going to be fine there. You do see Boo Boo taking a little bit more pressure, but Wild Soul making a point that he's nearby and letting Mr. Zane know that. Going to force him back as Bloodhunter now opens us up his farm a bit. He actually is level 6 now, too, so Lowstone keeping that in mind. I'm sure that hemorrhage threat definitely pretty powerful. I'm ready. What the fuck? Oh. That threw me off for a second. Let me go ahead and call him here. We haven't seen that in a while. Hey, how's it going?
What, toast?
Yeah, the toast there, yeah.
Yeah, I had to. I was like, come on, guys.
I had to do a double take. I'm just like, wait, what? Oh, that makes sense. That's right.
Nah,
So,
but it was because I couldn't type because of the way I connected to the game.
Ah, got you.
So I mean, I had to get my message across somehow.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Well, welcome to the cast.
Thank you.
Hopefully you didn't have to rush home or anything like that from anything.
Oh no, of course not. It's not like I was driving, 100 kilometers an hour over, a 50 kilometers an hour road. No, I didn't do that.
Okay,
no,
well,
I didn't.
That's good.
That would be bad. But Bloodhunter.
Yeah, so obviously the draft happened here, and the Bloodhunter was a final pick, but I was like, honestly, it makes sense to me. They're going up against a Doctor. The Scion's good against him. The Warbeast, you could argue, is decent against for the hemorrhage. So, and they have a Wild Soul. They had a Wild Soul already before that, which is a pretty greedy pick. So, yeah, I mean, I like it at least. So, yeah, well, what do you think as you're jumping in here?
Yeah, I like it a lot. And, with a lot of people used to pick up Mach on Bloodhunter as well, just because you're just that much more annoying. You do that much more damage. And it's a strong 1v1 hero as well. I mean, you see this Lodestone. He's only got red boots, and then you have the Ghost Marchers on Formless already. Like, you just compare the GPMs, and this was... Okay, it was a 2v1 lane. Mm-hmm. I was expecting it to be a 1v1 lane, seeing as it is a Bloodhunter.
It was a 1v1, actually.
Okay.
Rhapsody went bottom, actually, to begin this game, and they were dual laning initially down there. So he was, as actually Bloodhunter isn't a lot of topo up here. Lodestone, but he missed the Shatterstorm. Rhapsody coming in as well, perhaps trying to set up some kind of turn kill. Wild Soul joining the party, but so is Glacius. You see Rhapsody, he's taking too much damage. He'll go down. Warbeast, can he escape out of here still?
No.
No more ulti for him. That means a dead Warbeast says, yep, Bloodhunter chase him down. So that's an exchange that's good for complexity.
For sure. I mean, The fact that the Shadow Storm misses, that's unforgivable. And I mean that's what happens. That's what happens when you miss.
Hmm. Swing and a miss right there. So
Yeah. Wow. What?
I'm free at last!
what was that? Oh, it's prisoner. Okay, no,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be enough.
He's trying to hit the hook on Fuzzy though, but Fuzzy. Okay.
Wow, he actually hit it, and he's no. That
he's
would have
not.
been something.
You know, I honestly thought Fuzzy Sloth was playing that perfectly by staying close to Prisoner because it's so much easier to dodge the hook when you're close to the target you're up against. But then, it was just the wrong angle with the trees and everything. So well played by Matthias.
Yeah.
And man, it's been a while since Matthias. Holy crap.
Yep. No, I was talking. We saw that yesterday. Actually, he's back for Evil Corporation. So good to have him back, and player that's had some history. So.
And ECX has been playing fantastically. Like I watched the 2 games yesterday, and I was surprised. Like the fact that Imbaboy poured it in for every single kill almost on that Arachna.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah. No.
Especially versus Mint,
Yep. Very, very active for sure. It's fun to see that. So. But yeah, no. Good to have you on though. It's been a little bit here. Enjoy your holiday break yourself.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and Bloodhunter is about to not enjoy his life.
Oh, that's okay. That's not missing a Shadow Storm. That's hitting it.
Yes, with the help of Doctor. But I'm kind of confused about Complexity giving away Warbeast and Doctor in the same lineup. But I've heard of other casters coming on making a point of it that having Doctor and Warbeast on the same team is having the perfect balance of physical and magical damage and carries, and the fact that they let those 2 slip, it's questionable. But at the moment, they seem to be holding their own. But that's also due to the laning phase, I think, with, they have a Bubbles and a Bloodhunter who are going to win their lanes versus the counterparts that they're against.
Yeah. It's going to be how they transition now as we are hitting the ultimate marks. We're getting in still in the early game phase. But, yeah, a point that I was kind of stressing here is that, kind of wondering, you even brought up the possible mock idea to Bloodhunter, but, they have a Wild Soul, so to say that he would go mock as well, like, that would be so greedy right there. And we see he's not going that, of course. He is going more the Firebrand here. But, yeah, they're going to need to open up space for this Wild Soul to really kind of take off. And you already see what's happening, though. Look at that bottom tower going down.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, what about the Hellborn team getting Null Fireblade? Formless might be going for that instead, seeing as the recipes changed for it.
Oh, that's a good point.
And I think it would be a pretty good way of saving his ally from either being freezed or the shackle as well, so that he's able to save the Magnus. Because, I mean, Prisoner's going to just put that shackle on top of Magnus every single fight, and Magnus just becomes completely useless. But no, it's going to be the Firebrand. I was wrong.
Well, for now, it could be a possible pickup still in the future, but yeah, no, it is going to be a Firebrand for now, so keeping more routine here. That's what I was expecting. Firebrand, probably even Frostburn even in full, and then kind of going from there.
Yeah.
See what he decides.
I mean, I just remember those top plays where it was Formless playing the Bloodhunter as the main carry, and then they he kept healing up from getting those, getting close to the last hit at least, having one auto attack in before the enemy hero died, and then he just kept surviving, and that's how they ended up winning a match versus, I think it might have even been Sync at the time. Just something completely ridiculous that they won with the Bloodhunter carry.
Yeah. God, I'm vaguely remembering that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty epic plays there, so. Yeah, no, the Bloodhunter he definitely has. Yeah, I mean, again, the Bloodhunter he is kind of a niche hero. Like he's just kind of like if you want a carry that can be very active and also happens to be a little bit more powerful against certain heroes. And obviously, Doctor is one of those. And in fact, when we were seeing Doctor like every game, we were through that phase where it's like Doctor or Hag, like these int carries. I know we had talked about that. We started to see here and there Bloodhunter, but yeah, having that single target silence of 9 seconds. That's a lot of freaking seconds in this game. So, yeah, it makes sense. It really does. So I was glad to see the final pick Bloodhunter here.
Oh, mid lane.
Bubbles in trouble. He gets the Kelfield off. A lot of TPs, though, but Dr. Repulsor is going to be fine.
Oh no, Imba used his W, what's it, opposite charges on the Warlock.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, on
Yeah.
the creep. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Waltzel.
Waltzel gets pulled in, though. He's going to be frozen, but the team's too far away to help. Yeah, that pull's going to put him in a horrible spot, especially with the bear nearby, taking that shared damage. So easy kill in the end for ECX, and that was all Matthias really getting the hook.
So there, Imba did not decide to opposite charges the bear or anything like that, and it worked out.
There you go. Yeah, that's amazing what happens when it works, when you do it right. But yeah, Waltzel, before that death, I mean, he's still even over 400 gold per minute, just barely, so that's obviously something to be a little bit of a concern for ECX, but killing him is the start of addressing that, of course.
I just seem to have, I feel like Waltz, it's such a strange hero, in my opinion. Okay, mid lane getting hooked, love, but it should be fine. Yeah, I get a really strange feeling when I see people play Waltzel because, you know, the hero used to be the hero where you went suicide, you would farm a mock on, and you would be disgustingly annoying, and you know, push towers, split push, all that bezazzle. Now he can split push, but he's also so powerful in team fights. So I really like it when people run around with him as a whole group to have him just be that frontliner that they can't get through.
Yeah.
But often enough, people just keep farming on him. And I find that very frustrating to see because I understand you have the potential to carry really hard, but the other abilities, of course, you get the more attack speed, the movement speed from the W. Bye-bye.
I got that there. I just
Yeah.
simply Doctor, he was scouting it out, and he just happened to run into the Magnus and the follow-up with Bubbles, and easy kill. And then Glacius is like, here, let me give you another kill on top of that. So,
But do you understand what I mean with the whole Wild Soul needs to be active? Like, I've seen people farming on Wild Soul, and they get their 700 GPM, but then they're against a carry who, you know, has been farming at the same time. And I gotta say, like, a War Beast, he doesn't care about the AoE slow from Wild Soul, and he can do a lot of damage. Prisoner can lock down the Wild Soul as well. If they wait too long, the initiators get too much gold, and then Wild Soul, because he's less likely to go for the Shrunken until later on, he's just gonna get kited or he's gonna get completely wrecked in the later on fight. So I just want them to group up, push towers, because right now Complexity has pushed 0 towers.
Yeah, no, it's to kind of go off of what you're saying. It's like Wild Soul is really more of a mid hard carry. Like he's a mid game hard carry. Like if you get that early farm in him, which he definitely can get easily, then yes, he could. That's like his shining moment. Or he's going to be an insanely late game carry. Very, very, very late game. Because obviously we always talk about the 12 slots right there, but we've never realistically even seen it come close to that, to be honest. So that would be absolutely way late game. So yeah, I definitely see what you're saying there. It's like people kind of get caught up with this idea that, oh, I can always farm more because I have more item slots that I can fill. Well, you should you should be taking advantage, though, of the early flash farm capabilities that you do have in his strength early. So. I mean, I don't know if we're at that moment just yet in this game, but it's, you would definitely keep an eye. I mean, it looks like he's going Frosted Skull, but once he gets that, you'd hope that maybe making some plays here.
What I'm thinking is, like, at the 25-minute mark, that's really when you want to just use and abuse Wild Soul's power.
Yeah.
And what was I about to say? I had something in mind. The whole 12-slot thing, the bear right now, it's quite a vulnerable target. Like, microing now is more difficult than ever before because if you put the bear in a bad situation and you have yourself in bear form, you're gonna lose HP.
Yeah.
So, with the mass amount of behemoth picks and even a lodestone, if he is in that bear form and they're stacked up on each other, like. I mean, I was just playing a TMM game yesterday against a really farmed Wild Soul. I was playing a Wretched Hag, Lodestone ulti on top of it, and then, boom, one shot at the Wild Soul with a Hag ulti.
Yeah, no, they responded. The Lodestone pick over here for UCX, it was basically a snap pick right after the 4th pick Wild Soul.
Exactly.
The final pick Lodestone, so, yeah, clearly a very powerful hero against him. And I actually did bring up, too, I was actually questioning that Wild Soul pick at 4th because of that. And I guess they were afraid maybe to give it up at the same time, but...
Yeah, the fact that it hadn't been banned until 4th, that's already a surprise to me.
Yeah. But they got it, but yeah, part of you is like, well, we'll see if it works now.
But I mean, you could also argue that Complexity had the last ban, so if they're aware of the fact that Lodestone is really great versus Wild Soul, then they should have last banned it, because then there's nothing that ECX can do except for pick the Wild Soul. But
That's
at
true.
that point, I'm assuming that they already had the Doctor and the War Beast.
No. They
No?
only had the War Beast. Doctor was their fourth pick. The bands actually was Silhouette, Arachna, Magebane, Clanks, Oogie, and Puppet. So it was very carry heavy on either side.
Okay.
So,
But not Wild Soul, because
nope.
who cares about that
No, yeah, he's not
insanely
good.
fast farming hero? No, he's a bad hero.
Awful.
Terrible.
Top tower going down. Wild Soul, speaking of him, sending out the bear, scouting it out, going to throw out a stomp, but you see right there. Oh, there's a hemorrhage, though. So Warbeast is going to have to go for the TP, and he will successfully, however. So, yeah, Wild Soul and Bloodhunter, that is their bane right there, that good old TP.
Yeah, get a tablet on the Bloodhunter. It's not even bad.
Oh, yeah, you could argue, especially in a case like this. They have a couple of heroes that are pretty vulnerable to TPing out, and two important heroes, so yeah, I could see it. I mean, wouldn't be a horrible option, but he does have a Mighty Blade, and the way he's saving up gold, it looks like it is going to be more of a shrunken head. But, so yeah, it's getting to a point, though, if you're this Hellborn side, where they're kind of getting these plethora of items that they could now start grouping up and making those pushes. That's what you're kind of getting at, especially with that Wild Soul. This is where his strength really is going to lie. About 20 minutes in, he's going to have a pretty good core of items going here for his team.
The main issue is that Oscar still does not have a PK.
Oh.
And I think that's what's holding them back right now, because the Mag PK is just so needed. Because they have one AoE stun, and that's Magmus, and he's never going to get in a good position. Actually, about Magmus and positioning.
As you say it, but no, the stop from Lodestone. They're looking to turn. However, Imboboy will still go down as he stuck around a little too long. That Shatterstorm, however, it's no. Bubbles is going to actually cover it. However, he will still fall. So Tankafet picks up the double tap on that War Beast. I mean, they killed Doctor still, but obviously ECX is able to respond and make it a 2-for-1 there in the end. So Magnus will still be shy of that portal key, but yeah, at least there he was able to at least get someone in position, make a kill happen. So that's the good news. Is he going? Oh wow, Wild Soul's actually going Frostburn.
He's going Frostburn. Yeah, I wanted to mention that, because wouldn't Frostwolf just be the teamfight item? Like,
yeah, I thought for sure it was.
Stops himself from being kited a bit more. I mean, you could even get the Geos afterwards, just because both items are fantastic on the hero. Just get yourself tanky, as annoying as possible. But I think the effectiveness of Wild Soul in that mid game comes a lot from him being able to stomp as well as his bear, because those things deal 150 damage and they have a cooldown of 6 seconds. So every 6 seconds you have, 300 damage in AoE with a slow, and heroes aren't able to deal with it this early on in the game, but later on when their carries get fatter and fatter and fatter, they're not going to care. And talking about movement speed slow, what does Doctor care, and what does a War Beast thing care?
The good old haste speed in that ulti form that can't be sold to. He, by the way, is also going to be finishing a Shrunken Head. I mean, so we're kind of caught up in this Bloodhunter, this Wild Soul. But yeah, you look at ECX, their farm's beautiful as well. That War Beast, in fact, keeping up with the Wild Soul, going back to that. So he has enough even for the Shrunken, so I don't know if he's just going to maybe save up a little bit more for perhaps buyback. But,
or a Basher.
Want it. Okay, yeah, I guess it could be a Basher still.
I mean, the magic that really, like, from the Hellborn team that goes to me like, okay, magic is the Magmus and the Bubbles. But the Bubbles doesn't have that much magic damage. It's more about the lockdown from the ulti, I guess. Oh. They have a ward there. No, a dog there.
Yep.
Tankafet just ulting away.
Ward, yeah.
And it was a Shrunken. Yeah, I mean, it is the smart choice in the end, because then he won't be silenced by Bloodhunter. And Bubbles can't do anything to him then. But about this, I was thinking of heroes where Bubbles' Kelpfield, Staff of the Master effect, would be really effective against. And I gotta say, Warbeast is one of them. Warbeast is the one that springs to mind immediately.
Yeah, he know that is, but as you're just pointing out, I mean, he gets shrunken, though, and that kind of negates all that anyways. So.
No, but the Staff of the Master effect on Kelpfield.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's right. It does make it superior, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Like
does it?
War Beast, yeah,
It
not the
says to
initial
superior
cast.
magic damage. It doesn't say anything about the stun being superior.
Like it has to be the stun, otherwise the Staff of the Master effect is
pointless.
completely useless. Like it's all
Yeah.
about the lockdown.
No, I agree like that. I definitely agree with you
Oh,
on that
converts the
logic.
damage and stun from moving more than 600 units from the kelp field to superior magic damage.
Okay. Does it say that? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. Well, okay, good. Because yeah, that would be pretty bad. Or that wouldn't really make it that great, I guess. But yeah, so you could argue for that. Obviously, he's not going for that right now, not making that point. But that's something to think about. And yeah, no, I wouldn't think about a staff on bubbles. It's not. That's a newer one, right? That did come out fairly recently. Yeah.
Very recently. And I was just looking for reasons why anybody would ever buy that item because it feels so like it doesn't reduce the cooldown. It doesn't, give you an extra effect, which I always wanted on kelp field, that you can activate it again and that it just like moves
Pulls
the kelp
them in or
field.
something.
Yeah, something cool like that. Something to make it more, AoE
Yeah.
heavy. Oh,
Well, speaking of him, yeah, he's trying to kill this prisoner up here. Gets away from the prison break, but Bubbles actually dying of creeps in the meantime. Nearly falls. He ends up staying alive barely, though, and they do kill prisoner, so that's the good news there. But, yeah, speaking of that, using it right there to help keep prisoner in place. However, the Legion team did get the tower just before that, I believe. Yeah, they did get credit for it, so.
but at the same time, Hellborn got the mid tower. So, I mean, I think it's a trade favorable for the Hellborn just because they do have the Wild Soul now, who is 480 gold per minute, but really, they have a token on Blood Hunter. So, this is the timing for them to just go take every single outer tower. Or die on Bubbles versus War Beast.
Yeah, how did he get him? He doesn't even have, like, a Brutalizer or anything, honestly. It feels like Bubbles, I mean, I guess he didn't have the most mana from that previous fight and everything, so perhaps just caught
I think
him
he
not
just
very
used
far.
the Shell Surf.
Yeah.
And then the dogs might have interrupted his PK because they're invisible.
Tough target to kill, but Warbeast makes it happen. So Tankofet, man, he's 4-1-3, nearly 500 gold per minute now. He's even slightly ahead of a Wild Soul. That's shocking to me. Like, Wild Soul is such a great flash farming
Okay,
hero.
well,
I mean, now he pulls back ahead, but still, the fact that the fact that they're like they've been basically similar
Yeah.
for this whole game, maybe slight disadvantage for War. I mean, that's impressive in itself. Like, so that's great news for ECX more so.
But it is slightly skewed because of the amount of towers that have been taken by the Legion side. If Hellborn can just gather up and take 2 more towers, then it's going to be what you got ahead of Tankofet. So this is one of those games where it's really about the woods carries. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's nice.
it's
not.
interesting.
Yeah. It's.
That's how I'll put it.
Yeah.
It's somewhat
doesn't have-
passive.
True.
Somewhat passive. 8 to 6 hero kills at 26 minutes coming up here, so. Not
I
the
mean,
most
we had that
action-packed.
game with Pingu Dancers that you jumped into yesterday when it was like 26 to 20 at 25 minutes. That was just fun.
That was action. That was a lot of sloppy play. So it is kind of a trade-off, to be fair. It's like usually when you have crazy action like that, there are a lot of sloppy plays going on. So it's kind of like if you want to watch like really good Han, honestly, more of the time than not, it's going to usually be a little bit less crazy kills happening. But, so. Bottom lane, Immoboy actually gets picked up, but at what cost here? Lodestone looking to turn. The Shadow Storm hits, of course, but he can't see the Magnus in that Steam Bath. He can't do anything about it, and without Rocket Trail, and he will end up going down before he can finish him off. So ends up being a double tap, actually, for Fuzzy Sloth. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Love goes down. Actually caught out by Matthias, but now Matthias is in a bad spot. And just to kill a support, yeah, he realizes it too. He's like, this was not a good idea.
And Fuzzy gets the hat trick, porting home.
Oh, wow, yeah, he even got that all the way from the bottom lane. He comes back
So,
up.
I mean, I would be more afraid of this Bubbles right now than the Blood Hunter or anything else because he's super close to a Sheepstick. And Fuzzy Sloth just has this, like, I don't know, he has this thing called Luck with Runes. That's the second DD he had to kill Imboboy with.
Hey.
Yeah, I'd say it's nice.
Luck, but
Or-
it's also checking it. I mean, keeping an
Yeah.
eye on it and paying attention every 2 minutes.
By the way, what do you think of the whole What do you think of Doctor as a whole now? I think the hero has lost all its items. Top lane,
Yeah,
actually.
top lane. There's a lot of chaos in the meantime. Wild Soul's going to hold his ground, kill onto Loza right there. Finally will go down, though, as Warbeast is able to do enough damage, but now Glacius in trouble as well. Bloodhunter chasing him down, gets the kill. Double tap, of course, heals up as a result of that. It is just Warbeast all of a sudden. Prisoner is resurrecting. Is he going to be able to port here? No, he's not. Hat-trick for Formless. And a complete wipeout in favor of Complexity. Let's call it a genocide. It essentially was, and now they're going to also get the secondary tower at the top lane. So Complexity, I mean, it started with kind of that bottom lane, the double tap, and eventually the hat-trick for Fuzzy Sloth, and then they kind of work off of that. They get a genocide here pushing the top lane, and now the lead is the biggest it's been for Complexity here. Even with Wild Soul dying there, they definitely come out on top now.
And now all the towers on the outside are going to fall. And that's the sheepstick for Bubbles.
Yeah. That's
But yeah, I was asking about Doctor
Doctor.
Repulsor. I think their hero has lost so much of its effectiveness due to the item changes.
well, I think the obvious one is, well, yeah, hold that, because we got Bloodhunter, Prisoner. Oh, yep, he's going to go in, and they stop immediately on a Rhapsody's Protected Melody, get the kill. But a nice turn, actually, from Magnus with that eruption. Big turn from him. Sheepstick just delivered to Bubbles. Unfortunately, he can't really make a play with it right away. He is going to be able to sheep Prisoner. But look at this now. Complexity, all of a sudden, 4 heroes down. Well, I guess 3. Wild Soul is up. Coming up right there. But Bubbles getting away.
But again, at the loss of Doctor Repulsor.
Yeah.
He's only 350 GPM now, and he's turning into like the gank people now. That's my job as Doctor Repulsor instead of the I fly in and kill everything.
Well, I got to think the Bloodhunter, too, is also making it very difficult for him. Without a Shrunken Head, he's very vulnerable to that side.
Or at least in Nullstone. I would have liked him to go Nullstone this game just for that. I mean, I know that there's counters in Rhapsody, but that's one counter. And I mean, you're not going to see a Bloodhunter use a Hemorrhage to counter the Nullstone from a Doctor just to get the Sinus off on it. And Nullstone versus the Bubble Sheepstick as well. It's just an item that I think he really needed to go, and choosing to go that Hellflower route is kind of risky.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Dr. Repulsor, like the Grimoire change / nerf was obviously, it's not liked by many people. But Dr. Repulsor, though, wasn't really a hero that really got that item. So I don't know if that really had a huge influence or has a huge influence on him. I guess the buildup of Hellflower, does, but I don't know. Was really a lot changed? Like, what else is there that would have
The
hurt
icon.
Doctor? The icon? Okay, yeah. Well, see, what changed with icon, though? People are saying that. So the charges, it's still the same regen, right?
No, it's not. It's less, I think. It only regens. It's
Want to confirm
3
that.
and it's 150 HP and 300 mana, and I had a feeling that it was a lot more before. But the big nerf is just the fact that it takes so long, because 300 mana over 15 seconds. That's,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not the same effect, not at all the same effect as it had when it was just released.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the silence.
Yeah, the icon definitely, that's true. That was a change there. Dr. Repulsor, he's going to barely stay on the outside. He has that hemorrhage up. Prism doing a good job giving the lockdown. Bloodhunter needs a kill. Can he get it first? No, he cannot. He didn't even really try, to be honest. He ends up going down right there. Bubbles will stop the glacial downpour in the meantime. Wildstone comes in to clean up, and they at least take him out. An ultimate warrior streak now for Fuzzy Sloth, actually, as he gets credit for that kill. But the rest will get away. They do kill Bloodhunter, of course.
The sheep on top lane.
Is it Warbeast up here? Yeah, it is. He actually pops a Shrunken, though, as the eruption's coming out. And now he's going to start running away. Magma's going to follow him. He needs to be careful of himself. He is pretty
He's
low
going to
on
send the
life.
Prisoner, though, if he can reach him.
Nope, that's a haste rune. Get Bubbles, maybe? No, he's just too fast, so go figure he has a haste rune there. He's able to get out of it, so. Oh, this is...
Well played by Tankafet getting out of there.
Yeah. This is a very even game right here. But yeah, no, the icon change, yeah, no, that's... That makes more sense, definitely, to hurt in the hero, but...
Yeah. But I'm just so disappointed in the Grimoire change for heroes like Hag. I want to see Hag again. It's been so long. But, you could do something with the ultimate Staff of the Master effect, make it true damage when you get the Staff of the Master, and maybe it would be cool again, but...
I feel like we've been doing too much of those lately. Like, because I know Witch Slayer got his. Like, no, these shrunken head. You were just talking about bubbles and the kelp field. It's like we need to be a little more unique.
Yeah.
Can't just be like.
But
true
not
damage.
superior magic, true damage.
No.
Yes.
Jump down here. Dr. Repulsor takes a sheepstick actually as Bubbles comes up on now. Bubbles! He jumped into the Shatter Storm. He ends up going down. Magnus will fall. Bloodhunter does take out Dr. Repulsor, but now in a little bit of trouble as it's just chaos, a cluster here. So many illusions actually. The real Bloodhunter in the background is fine, but Dr. Repulsor flies back in. He actually takes out Bloodhunter, and all of a sudden it is just Wild Soul against the team of Evil Corporation, and Evil Corporation is going to win that exchange right there. And now they take the lead, I want to say for the first time this game even. This game has just swung somehow in favor of ECX. We've been kind of having discussions here about this patch and some changes, but what's been happening with this game, man? I mean, now ECX is in the lead.
Yeah, it's all down to the initiation. I get the feeling like if Wild Soul's left by himself like that, he can do nothing. And Fuzzy Sloth is really the changing factor in my opinion, because he died that fight. And in all the previous fights, he didn't die. But the Hellflower from Dr. Repulsor managed to, stop Fuzzy Sloth from taking cover or using PK or just being as slippery as he should be. So there, the Hellflower pickup really comes into play. And that's the second Kongor going for ECX this time rather than the Hellborn.
Yep, ECX, I assume Doctor. Sure enough, there we go. He picks it up. And there's the Shrunken Head finally finished on Dr. Repulsor as well. So, again, no doubt that silence especially has been hurting him. But now with the Shrunken, he can just remove it. And that could definitely change some things. And then you got the War Beast on top of that. He has 3,600 gold saved up, so we'll see what Mr. Tankafed chooses to go for here. But he really is kind of the hard carry of the team, is safe to say, with the way this game's been going at least. And he's making it work. 4,400 gold on Prisoner, too, so he's going to have something pretty big coming up.
Sheepstick, or even Ulters. Slow down the attack speed of Wild Soul. Everybody seems to keep forgetting that you have this attack speed slow aura, and it's 20%. It's nothing to scoff at, really.
I forgot about that. Like you said, like a lot of people.
A lot of people forget that it's pretty much Frostfield Plate.
How about that? 20% attack slow. Well,
and, get rid of the silence from Formless, get rid of silence from Bubbles, get rid of the slow from Wild Soul, get 100 armor in the meantime. Pretty nice.
But that's only when you activate it, right? So it's not always on. Yeah, no, it's when you activate it gets that aura.
No, the aura.
What I'm reading, it suggests that it's only when you use it. When activated, grants you incredibly high armor for a few seconds, applies a minus 20% speed aura to enemy.
I think that's all the time. Because I had it in a TMM game, and I was just walking around creeps, and they just had the aura.
Well, because it says applying Stalwart to you for 6 seconds, and then it says Stalwart's effects, and then that's under there.
Yeah, I know, but...
Okay.
I kid you not. I saw it.
I got my document here, and I'm gonna write this one. I've been doing this, man, lately. I just write down all these things here.
I just need to enter a practice game, man.
Do you have to activate? Well, yeah. So you can test it, but it's more so is that supposed to happen kind of deal. I have to kind of bring that up. So
for sure. Although, oh man, like nobody picks up Arclight Crown.
Oh
ever.
God, yeah, I know.
Oh God.
Well, it's just, I mean, I think the number one agreement on that item is just like, why the hell does Thunderclaw not build into it? It just doesn't make sense, frankly. But
it's because Thunderclaw now adds attack damage, and Arclight Crown only adds attack speed.
Okay.
To make the build-up make sense, but I mean, back in the day when what was it, Thunderclaw and what was it?
Charged Hammer?
Yeah, Charged Hammer. That Charged Hammer gave attack damage. That's when the item was far more useful. But Thunderclaw was far more useful with the attack speed because it was a farming item. But Charged Hammer, when it still added damage, that's when that item was picked up more. And then when it only started adding attack speed, that's when it fell off of popularity because nobody's like, I want more attack speed.
Yeah.
Oh, bottom lane.
Bloodhunter gets picked. That was old Doctor leading the way. And Put the Hellflower, and then obviously the follow-up was there. Does he have buyback? He does. So may need to look to use it right here. He didn't use anything. He has also items and ultimate especially. So yeah, this could be a big buyback if they're not ready for it. Warbeast going to be gone. There's the buyback. He's at half life already. The Sheepstick doing a lot of work. Warbeast, he pops a Shrugger though. Goes an ultimate 4. Can he look to turn this? Protect him, Melody. I believe it mitigated something with the Shatterstorm, but it might not matter actually. It's still got some decent damage off with the supporting cast around it. Down goes Wild Soul. And the new Resurrected Bloodhunter, however, he is going to have to start falling back, but they do kill Warby, so it's Doctor, Prisoner, and Glacius still up. It is just Bloodhunter and Bubbles, though, who both had to fall back to the well. So the tower's dead. Doctor still has a token even, and is now starting to siege the melee racks right here. I think he's going to get it. They can't do anything at this point, so. Well,
Prisoner has Sheepstick. Maybe they could even go for a play, but there, Bubbles.
Oh, Bubbles is going in full throttle. Here we go. Double Sheepsticks used, one on either side. Bubbles gets pulled in, but Dr. Repulsor, he gets silenced and locked down and killed. There's the token, though. And you see both teams kind of retreating from one another. But Bubbles, actually, Doctor goes in on a Bubbles and will finish him off before truly falling back here, it looks like. Prisoner, oh, I don't know if that made sense. You're kind of just letting them know who you are.
I don't know what happened there, but okay. So they did use a buyback on Wild Soul as well. I saw him dying at the start of the fight to the Shatterstorm, and it looks like Tankafet. What are you getting?
Yeah, he gets another.
I mean,
saber.
he's got the saber thing, but that's for Brutalizer usually. So
Savage Mace is the only other thing.
But why would you get Savage at this point?
Why not Rift Shards at this point then? Yeah. All right, now
Well,
I
Rift
guess
Shards
a
on a
War Beast.
Warbeast.
Yeah, that's not that good.
Why not a Harkins? Because, you know, apparently they don't stack together, Rift Shards and Harkins. I thought that was so strange.
Yeah. Actually, that is something I brought up. I think it's something that they're going to look at, but I don't know if there's actually like logic.
It was when Pine was playing the Madman carry. No, not the Madman. Yes, the Madman. Max 3 million was playing Madman carry. He got a Harkins, and then he got Rift Shards afterwards, and apparently it didn't stack or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was thinking more along the lines of a Heart, even just, you know, even a Frostwolf Skull.
Ball.
Please no, don't mention that item to me.
This is the chance.
This is the
game.
Never, ever. No.
Really? You don't like it?
I don't like it at all. I mean, the whole point of building tanky is so that you can be tanky, not so that you can lose 2% of your life. When you have 3k life, you have to consider that's, you know, a lot.
But
You're literally
damage.
doing 60 damage to yourself every hit. It's like a Malikan on crack.
But you do more damage.
Yeah, but do you want to turn every hero into Malikan without the attack speed increase when you get low on HP and the ability to swap it? Okay, here we go. If you could swap Bloodborne Maul that you regen life, but you lose 120 damage, fantastic item.
Just
item.
Just give everyone Malikan's abilities, basically.
Well, I mean, that's what I first thought when I saw that item. I'm like, okay, so basically we're Malikan now?
Yeah.
Everybody can be Malikan if they want to be Malikan. But, you know, without the attack speed increase.
I didn't think about it that way, actually. That's true. Huh. It essentially is Enchanted Flames.
Yeah.
Berserker needs to go.
Yeah, but
and that
I mean...
will make him relevant now. Middle lane, Magnus.
Confirm.
Is that a hard
Shadowblade.
Oh, no, he has Jade Spirit. Wow.
I love it.
Jade Spire.
I love this new item. I love this new item.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic. What I don't love is the fact that they made Hag useless as a carry because Grimoire is really shitty. So now you have this item that would be perfect for Hag after the Grimoire, and then you're like, no, we don't want Grimoire anymore. No, please.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. So by the way, this is only the second time we've seen it. We saw it on the weekend. I want to say a Slither picked it up, but I remember that game because he died like 5 times after. He got locked down every fight. Yeah, he didn't even get to use it once, so that was unfortunate. So now Immaboy just used it right there, and I thought to myself, oh, that must have been a misclick. But then I realized, looking it over, it actually does give you 500% mana regeneration as well when you use it. So, yeah, I was so caught up with the symbol effect, you know, where it gives you the lifesteal. But that's right. So you can even use it like he's doing here. I mean, he's essentially using it as a mana regen more so than actual lifesteal, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. He just used it again. And the hero where I think Jade Spire is, like, godlike on, completely ridiculous, is Electrician. Not that he's in competitive yet, but when he does, being able to use your shield, it regens your life. Using your shield regens your life already because you're using mana. So, Gnomes was always an item that you could consider on Electrician because the more mana you got, the more HP you would get from using it. And then with Jade's Pyre on top of that, it would be completely ridiculous.
Okay, yeah. So apparently we're both kind of right/wrong about Ultor's heavy play. I guess so. You actually, when you use Ultors, you yourself deal 20% attack slow. You attack 20% slower. But the aura, there's always a minus 20% attack speed aura to enemies within 900. Like, that's always on. So
Okay.
So it's I didn't even realize. So I guess it is a downside of using it in that sense. You attack a little slower. Interesting.
But I mean, you have 100 armor.
But well, yeah. I mean, you use it for tank, so that's not really a big deal, right? But okay, that I guess makes a little more sense then.
Yeah, but in that case, I mean, you still want to you still want to get an Ultors on Prisoner when you're versing a Wild Soul, I'd say.
Oh, yeah,
Just because the attack speed's slow, it's fantastic.
I remember, God, the only time we've seen it was the game where Salomon got it against the Pestilence, especially, and it was fantastic for that game. And I didn't even realize that. Yeah, it actually technically reduced his attack slow by 20%. But yeah, you don't get it. You get it for the purpose of being very defensive. So it still makes sense there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
What is Prisoner getting, though? And he's killing Oscar. Or attempting to, at least.
A couple of sheeps once again. He is going to have to start running. Pops a Shrunken. Can they stop it? No, they cannot. And he gets out barely.
I mean, Bloodhunter even used Hemorrhage there.
Wow, yeah, they used everything. Staff on Bubbles, by the way. So there you go.
There we go.
There you go. And it does say on the text, I do apologize. I was reading the later part of it, but yeah, it does actually say, it said in the beginning, it was both the stun as well as the damage, as you're pointing out. So yeah, it's that makes sense. So yeah, there you go. They're obviously tuning in and
I mean, it's fair enough though. The Doctor Repulsor, if he tries to jump out as well, he's just gonna get the Kelp Zone.
Yeah, no, it does make sense.
It's called Kelp Zone now instead of Kelp Field. Just look at that.
Oh my
god,
it is. Yeah, Kelp Zone. That's kind of weird. Kelp Zone. Huh.
It almost sounds like Calzone, but I doubt very much that Bubbles is a pizza.
No. Wild Soul. What is he? He's got a Frost with Jonas. He's going to be going Wingbow here, it looks like, next. He's got the Snake Bracelet for that purpose. So he's got hard carry potential, of course, written all over with that. Does the bear have anything? Okay, the bear has his Abyssal Skull, but that's it, really.
I just think they lost their opportunity now. Complexity, I mean. Like, Wild Soul is not going to do that much because of all the sheep sticks picked up and everything. And Tankafed, as you said, went for the Savage Mace, and he already has it now. Look at that damage. Holy crap.
And Tankafed, yeah. Yeah.
Now,
so you were pointing out, though, why go Savage Mace? So, like, what do you think this is a bad choice? I mean,
my issue was mainly with the fact that Wild Soul, because he has no Shrunken, I feel like Doctor and Lodestone can take care of him easily enough. If Doctor is able to fly around, then he can kill him. I think it's Tankfit's job to lock down the Bloodhunter, more so.
Okay.
And I mean, Savage is just a good way to do it, I guess. For the extra damage, of course, and the Basher. Like, I really like the Basher. I'm scared if they manage to wait out the ultimate that
big
just gonna die.
Fight by the way. Who's gonna get the token alive? It looks like Doctor is able to pick it up, and you see ECX is starting to take over, especially because of that. Bubble's already dead, in fact. Bloodhunter off to the side. He's just trying to run. Protect the Melody will save him initially right there. Put a two-shot on Rhapsody. Meanwhile, back here, Lowstone gets the Shatterstorm off. You see Magnus and Wild Soul trying to run for their lives. Really, Magnus does get out. Wild Soul going to hold his ground because he has to, but it's just not going to do enough. So everyone's staying alive on ECX. Not the same for Complexity. 3 are dead. Bloodhunter barely got out, as did Magnus. And now here comes a push from ECX. Getting the token on Doctor as well. That could all but do it here in favor of ECX for Game 1.
I take it back. The Savage is genius. He does so much damage now.
Yeah, he's doing quite a bit here. GG, well played, are called, and that will officially do it. So, yeah, the Jade Spire, I'm sure, kind of kicked in there as well, too. It looks like he did activate it during, so definitely well played by ECX, and he stressed from the beginning, and he did kind of feel it. Complexity was up by 10, 12,000 gold or so in experience for a little bit there, but then it kind of fell apart. The middle lane, they got kind of cleaned up, trying to fall back, and obviously ECX just started to find a routine, find a groove after that, as I say. So, and that's a victory for them. But it is just game one of this two-game series. So, but yeah, any other final thoughts here on game one, Shorkan?
Nair has 273 gold per minute, and Zane has 233. But yeah, just really well. I think the draft from Legion was just really well thought out, and they executed it properly. Like, they waited for the opportunity. They took the team fights when they had the PKs and the sufficient